And welcome back. Well, with us right now from Harvard Eye Associates, Dr. Mark Levy. Always a pleasure to see you, sir. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a good topic today. And this is about just caring for your eyes in general, right?
Yes, this is just some simple tips and techniques and things you can do at home to prevent further damage to the eye. Typically, I need you to check.
Okay, we'll go to the next slide.
The next slide.
Yeah.
So typically a patient will come in complaining of a foreign body feeling in the eye. So we're going to talk a little bit about foreign body.
Okay.
Generally, if a patient comes in and said suddenly that day they had a really bad irritation or scratchy feeling in the eye, we'll see them, and hopefully at the point that we see them, we don't see too much damage done to the eye from it. But what I'd like to talk about is what this patient can do at home if they suddenly feel a very scratchy feeling in the eye.
Okay.
Usually what's happened is something, either an eyelash or a particle of dust, sometimes even a small gnat will get in and get tucked in under the upper lid.
Okay.
If it's left alone and you continue to blink on it, it will rub up against the cornea, which is the very sensitive part of the eye, and will cause can possibly cause corneal abrasion and may even lead to eye infection.
Wow.
So what I'd like people to know is that ideally what they should do is go to a pharmacy and buy an eye wash, a small bottle of eye wash that they keep consistently, and keep it in the fridge, keep it refrigerated.
Okay.
And anytime that you feel a foreign body or a very sharp pain in the eye, you will instill 3 or 4 or 5 drops of eye wash, which is basically a saline solution. We want to be a little cautious about putting regular water in our eyes because our tears are a salt content.
Okay.
So if you put regular water, it upsets that salt balance, and that can cause stinging and irritation in itself.
Okay.
So ideally you want to have handy a bottle of eye wash. So after instilling a few drops of eye wash, which hopefully will loosen up whatever's caught under that top lid, if we can go to a slide.
Go to the next slide.
Next slide.
And this is how to deal with something in your eye. Okay.
It should be, yeah. So the step 2 is the flush. The step 3 is what we call the pullover. So what you do is you firmly hold onto your lashes on the top lid, pull outward and down, and rest those lashes on your cheek below the lower lid.
Oh, really?
And then gently release. And the hope is that when you release, your lower lashes will grab onto whatever's caught under that top lid.
Interesting.
So you pull the lash outward, down onto your cheek, and then gently release, and hopefully that'll remove whatever's caught under there. Try that a few times if it doesn't work initially, and then obviously get into your eye care professional as quickly as possible before any further damage is caused, because if it is something that's if it's a sharp object, you'll rub that up against the cornea and you can hurt the cornea.
Okay.
So importantly on that one.
And you have what not to do.
What not to do.
And you talked about using regular water, yeah.
Right. Again, do not rub your eyes. The last thing you want to do is rub your eyes. If it's caught, if you have a particle caught under the top lid and you rub up against it, you're going to cause some damage to the cornea. So you don't want to rub your eyes. And then finally, if all else fails, close your eye. If possible, pressure patch the eye. So put a little gauze on with a tape to keep that eye closed until you can get some help to prevent further blinking and further damage to the cornea.
All right.
So,
good advice. Okay, on to the next topic, taking care of your eyes while traveling.
This is a very important issue for our 55 and older population. So a lot of our Laguna Woods residents are bi-coastal and will travel by plane, travel by air to New York and back, so it can be cross-country, sometimes cross-continental. So typically what we see in the office is this patient will come back after a few days of having returned and complain about severe dry eyes, possibly infected eyes. And this is the result of, in a plane, it's important to understand that there is no moisture in the air up there.
Right.
So it's a very, very dry environment. So your tears, our 55 and older group already have a reduction in their tear production, so that this will, what happens in an airplane is that evaporation takes place and you end up with severely dry eyes. And dry eyes, our tears have their own antibiotic action to them. So if our tears evaporate, it sets us up for possible infection up there. So we very frequently see travelers who are bicoastal or bicontinental coming in with scratchy eyes, very dry eyes, and sometimes infections. So what we recommend is that you buy a non-preserved solution. You can buy a non-preserved artificial tears.
Okay.
They come in small vials. It's very easy.
So we see here, yeah.
Very easy to put 3 or 4 of those in your pocket. They break open and you can actually press it closed again. So each one of those little vials has about 6 or 8 drops in them. And so it's important when you're on a flight that is more than 2 or 3 hours, every hour and a half or 2 hours, put a drop in each eye and keep them moist.
Okay.
Especially on the longer trips.
All right, very good. Now, in the next slide, you actually show the right way and the wrong way to put drops in our eyes.
Correct. The right way to put eye drops in is to pull down on the lower lid, create a small pocket in the lower lid, so just gently pull on that lid to create a little pocket. Put a drop, stand in front of a mirror if necessary, tilt your head backward a little way, and make sure that that drop goes into that little pocket in the lower lid.
Okay.
Immediately after that drop goes in, close your eyes. So the important thing is to close eyes after that for about 30 seconds before even putting the drop in the second eye.
Okay.
So put the drop it into that lower lid, close your eye immediately, and then go onto the other eye after about 30 seconds.
Okay. And this is what not to do, and it's probably what most people do.
What most people do is they'll hold the eyedropper up, and it's hit and miss, and they may or may not make it, and if they do make it, most of it will splash out. So to get the maximum effect of an eye drop, you want to put that drop into the lower lid, close your eyes, and make sure that you get the best effect from that drop.
All right, in the next slide, you actually talk about different kind of vitamins and supplements and things that help.
Yes, and mostly this applies to macular degeneration, which is a huge issue with our aging population. And it's very important. Centrum, so those are the vitamins that are the important ones, the lutein and the zinc. And most of those you'll find in your green leafy veggies.
Okay.
So very importantly, diet-wise, lettuce, kale, all the green leafy veggies that you can get in there are very, very important to you. The PreserVision is a specific drop that's used for macular degeneration.
Okay.
And if you know you have macular degeneration in the family, if there's a strong genetic history, you want to make sure you take a couple of those every day. They have the essential vitamins that you need, and they have the omega-3s, which is basically fish oil. So fish oil is another really good additive.
Okay.
Green leafy veggies, fish oil, Centrum Silver, and PreserVision are
That's good to know, and that's both easy, especially the
over the counter,
Centrum.
not too expensive, easy to get.
That's easy to get. What about carrots? Are carrots good too?
Carrots are good.
All
Carrots are vitamin A, carotene, very important for the retina.
All right. So finally, you want to give the overall advice that take care of your eyes, and if you feel there's something in there or something that you can't fix at home with drops, get to
your
eye
professional
person.
as soon as you can. Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
All right. Always good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This
Appreciate
is
you
good
having me.
advice. And we thank Dr. Mark Levy from Harvard Eye Associates. Very simple things you can do at home to take care of yourself, take care of your eyes properly. And I think it's a great tip at the end there. Just a simple over-the-counter vitamin is fantastic, along with eating kale.
Absolutely.
All right. Good to
you.
see you. We'll be right back.